mixed with the rain falling over me, supposedly. Something else is controlling me. I rose out the dirt, my life is concrete poetry. Vocally, I flow in each moment to show you openly.
I was in the dark, I had to make it, I'm the light. So rounded by death, but now we turn it into life. I remember days when we was really outside. Life was a mess, it was a blessing in disguise. I was in the dark, I had to make it, I'm the light. So rounded by death, but now we turn it into life. I remember days when we was really outside. Life was a mess, it was a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing in disguise. Cause we were really outside, yeah. Take a look into my eyes, yeah.
Welcome, welcome everyone. Woo! Okay, go on.
Hello guys, welcome to London Inspirers today. Hello, my name is Mohammed and
I'm Pastor Goodness, and our job here is simple. We're simply going to introduce you to service and what Lovers Inspired is all about. We are a community-based church, and we are dedicated to empowering and inspiring young people like yourselves. So, amazing. So, I'm going to pass it over to Mohammed to explain what we'll be doing next, which is a get-to-know-each-other segment.
Let me take you back to where it started. We was in our school clothes, but we was stepping out regardless. Not down ginger, we was hopping over gardens. Trying to make it back home and say home.
Okay, guest speaking.
We came home to hot dinners, mummy never left us starving. I caught my first case of rowdy, I felt the Lord, I'll beat them charges. We had plans of kicking bull, but we had hearts of a spark. And all them prayers to the heavens led my feet through the darkness. We came up on them pedal bikes. Can we balance my lows by getting high? As I sit and reminisce and think back to the times, I don't know how I'm still alive.
It was do or die, I swear this life caught us by surprise. I couldn't sleep cause there was pain when I closed my eyes. School by the streets, so the roads taught us to survive. They all just gave up, but I tried. 15, I was hurt, they put my brother in a shirt. It's crazy how only a hearse could get my brother in a church. And we were playing curbs, where before we hit them curbs, all the murders had my whole city crazy, going berserk. One life, one beat, just to get some wallabies. Mum was out working, we ain't have nothing to eat. And yeah, I lost some friends, but I lost more time belief. They left me down on my knees.
Let me take you back to where it started. We was in our school clothes, but we was stepping out regardless. Not down ginger, we was hopping over gardens. Trying to make it back home and say home is where the heart is. Home's where the heart is.
It was do or die, I swear this life caught us by surprise. I couldn't sleep cause there was pain when I closed my eyes. School by the streets, so the roads taught us to survive. They all just gave up, but I
Let me
tried.
take you back to where it started. Southwest London, brick cities where my heart is. Wanted to be a driller, didn't
20 seconds left.
had my burner on me just to end what I started. Look, I pray for better days, but the days didn't come. My little bro got 21, I swear it hurts me that he's gone.
Okay, we have 20 seconds left. It's fine. Okay, guys, time to sit down. Come back to us. Come back to us. Amazing. I hope everyone's got their facts ready. Mohammed, who are you picking first?
Hello, sorry sir, what was your name? What's your name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, what was the one fun fact that you learned today?
One fun fact I learned today.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel, stand up for us. Let's see you.
Come to the front.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Huh? Yeah, of course, no problem.
Okay, so who did you meet?
I met Tofi, right?
Okay, what did you learn about Tofi?
She likes Afrobeat music.
She does. She does like Afrobeats. Okay, Mohammed, who are we picking next?
You with the crown. What have you learned today?
Okay, stand up for us.
What was your name? Sorry.
Duchess Letitia.
Letitia.
Duchess Letitia.
And what have you learned today?
Pardon?
What have you learned today about?
I've learnt about Elizabeth, who is studying AI in Imperial. She came over from Uganda 10 years ago and is in her second year, and it's starting to get a bit tougher now.
Amazing. A lot of retention in that one. And we have one more person. Who are you picking?
Hello, sir. What's your name?
Pastor David.
Stand up for us, please, sir.
Yeah. So I met a gentleman here who has the most amazing name, Greatness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it?
He studied sound engineering in his final year, so he's trying to figure out what to go into next. So yeah, pretty cool guy.
Lovely. Lovely to meet you, Greatness.
Very lovely to meet you.
Amazing. So that's all for that segment. We've got a few more things to say, maybe one more thing to say actually before we leave you and we go on to the rest of the service. Mohammed?
There should be a QR code on the screen. If you guys would like to scan it, it will lead you to our Instagram and you will learn a lot about us from there.
Amazing. So follow us on socials. This is Lovers and Inspirers. Take out your phones, have a scan. Perfect. Amazing. And that's all from us right now. We'll be back with you later, but enjoy the rest of service.
Good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Pastor Jerusha, and today I will be bringing you an amazing panel talking about some of the communities we have within Lovers and Inspirers. You're going to meet some amazing community leaders, and make sure you keep your ears open to see if you'd like to join some. So, first of all, we're going to welcome up Pastor David. He leads the Nation Sports Association. Anyone interested in sports, make sure to speak to him after. And secondly, we have Pastor Goodness, who you saw already, managing the So Run community. And thirdly, we have Pastor Precious, who leads the Exhale community. So, as you heard, we have some very interesting people in front of you today. So I'm just going to let them introduce themselves, tell you a bit about their communities, what they do, and yeah. So let's start with you, Pastor Goodness. What is So Run? Who are you, and why did you start it?
Okay, so I'm Pastor Goodness. So Run is a run community that basically fits your schedule. It's filled of runners, aspiring runners, experienced runners and people who are into fitness. And what we do is that we share runs that are happening and people can just attend them as and when it fits their schedule. In terms of why I started So Run, it's really because it was a gap. There's so many run clubs. I don't know if anyone's into running or into fitness. Oh, a few hands that should be down, but I see the ones that should be up. Okay, I see the ones that should be up. And yeah, so anyone into fitness, into running, there's so many run clubs that have started. There's just so many, and I think we have enough of them, and there's so many great ones that I even attend. But what there isn't is a run community where you can find out about these run clubs, and you can find out where to go, what's in your area, what's available each day. Because of me, my schedule's always changing, so I can't necessarily commit to a Saturday 9 a.m. every Saturday. But it's good to know that there's one on Sunday at 10 or one on Tuesday at 6. So that's the idea of the So Run community, and that's really how it started.
Wow, that's very inspiring. Thank you, Pastor Goodness. Okay, so let's move on to Pastor Precious. What is Exhale? What do you guys do? Why did you start it? Tell us a bit about it.
So I'm Pastor Precious and I'm 22 years old. And I've actually been writing poetry since I was 14 years old. Now, my relationship with poetry has always been a bit up and down because I write based on like expressing myself or talking about my emotions. And I've never really had like had the ability to express myself. So when I first came to the Nation family, they actually gave me a platform to start expressing myself and performing my poetry. So from the ages of 16 to about 20, I was performing, I was writing, I was given the opportunity to perform speeches in Parliament, to perform in crowds of over 1,000 people, and this was all given to me by the Nation family. Thank you. So last year, I actually decided that I wanted to do something and give other people the same opportunity that was given to me and start a writing community. And I was very up and down with it at the beginning. At first, it was literally 5 people in the group chat. 2 of them were me and Pastor Zainab and 3 other people. And I just kind of took off and was like, yeah, I'm going to start this community. But then, like I usually do, I drop things. But then I picked it back up this year, and I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to take it seriously because I believe that there's people out there who need help like me, like who struggle with their confidence, who struggle with their voice, who struggle with putting themselves out there or finding a platform that will be able to put themselves out there. And I can say in the short time that I had been doing it, I've been able to reach over 100 people in 22 different countries around the world. And yeah, so I'll go on to Pastor David, so I don't take your time. They know why I'm saying that, because, yeah.
Exhale community really wanted to steal the show there. I think she forgot that it wasn't just her on the panel today. So, Pastor David, Nation Sports Association, please tell us a bit about that. We've seen a lot of your amazing work. There was a football tournament last year. There's basketball. You've reached different countries. I know there was something in France or coming up. There's a lot of exciting things planned for many different types of sports. So please tell us a bit about yourself and why you started that community.
Okay, so first of all, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Pastor James. So my name is Pastor David. Everyone calls me Coach David as well, Coach. Everything that we've done with the Nation Sports Association hasn't just been myself. It's been pretty much every single person that you see at the front on this panel as well. All of us have had our hands in it. So it's not just me. I would say it's almost like a collective because it's still a community at the end of the day. And the way the Nation Sports Association started was, it started off from me actually deciding to kind of give back to young basketball players initially, where I started the basketball community 3 years ago, and that kind of like spread across the years, doing different things to keep consistent. And then the Nation Sports Association came about because there was other communities like myself that maybe were struggling or didn't have that support that they needed or didn't know how to find that support. So some of us kind of came together, created that collective, and now bringing in other sports communities, fitness communities into the space as well, and really trying to like help them and push them to grow as well, really.
Okay, amazing. That sounds very exciting. As you guys can see, we have some amazing basketball players, you know, in great kit. So how do you feel like, this is to Pastor Goodness, How do you feel like you've kept your community motivated? How have you kept yourself motivated whilst running a community? I know there are not always good days, there are bad days. Maybe you're the only one that turns up to run. But what is it that kept you motivated?
I think in terms of, you're very right, there has been like ups and downs within the whole thing, but what keeps me motivated are the people. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people responding to me or even one person, but so when I started the group chat, much like Pastor Precious here, it was literally it started with about 14 people, half of them were in the nation and really just there to support. I was trying to get them into running. They haven't continued. Anyway, but now we've grown so much more, but it's that one person that keeps saying to me, this group chat helps me so much, or I really love this because it just helps me with my fitness journey. Yes, I don't post in it, or yes, I don't share my runs, but your messages that you put in, your motivational messages, or your encouragement, or letting me know there's a run keeps me going. And those are the kind of messages that I have received as well through it. So it's just literally one by one that I'm able to impact or help or improve their own fitness life. That's really what's been happening. And I guess how I've kept them engaged is we had our first event, So Run event, a couple weeks ago, powered by the NSA with Pastor David. And thank you. And it was a success. We had over 300 runners there, all of which are literally messaging saying that when's the next one, the next one. And in a sense where that's how I guess I keep them engaged, having those sort of community free runs that they can go to, they can feel empowered, and they can feel like they've achieved something at the end of it. So yeah.
Wow, that is very amazing. I was actually there.
Oh yeah,
at the
amazing.
So
Did
Run.
you run?
I did run.
Oh,
I
don't remember
I will
that.
bring out the video because people don't believe me. But I did run. I crossed the finish line.
Okay, and you got a medal.
I did.
Okay.
So I was there, and it was amazing to see how many people were actually so excited just to receive a medal and to actually be among people that have like minds and are interested in the same thing. So that was very exciting to be a attendee to, and also a runner of. So I think that deserves a round of applause. Okay, so since we're on the topic of empowerment, Pastor Precious, Exhale Global how does it aim to support, empower, create opportunities for young people? I heard you have 22 countries that you're in. How do you aim to keep those people engaged and empowered, even though you are based in the UK?
So one thing that I've been doing is we have bi-weekly meetings, and in these bi-weekly meetings, it basically gives opportunities for everybody that's a part of the community to meet writers around the world. So you get to connect, like if you're a writer from India, you can connect with someone from Nigeria. If you're from South Africa, you can connect with someone from Cameroon, and so on and so forth. And we have topics every week. Like last week's topic was destiny. So people write about destiny, which we spoke about destiny. People send their poems into the group chat. I make it a very open space because I know that sometimes people need to feel like they're free to be able to express themselves. That's the whole point. And I think the group chat and platforms like WhatsApp, like literally stuff that we just use on a day-to-day basis, has been so instrumental to connecting with so many people, because it gets to the point, like literally a girl from the community, she's from Nigeria, she literally calls me like randomly, she's like, oh, hey Precious, like how's your day going? And we literally speak and we catch up and we become friends, and it's good. It's been so beautiful to see how you're actually building relationships with people around the world through writing. And it's not like we're just writers, we're actually people. We have people there that are into construction, people there that are into like economics, people there that are just working, that are authors. We have 17-year-olds that are authors. We have 17-year-olds that are writing articles. We have so many people in the group chat. And I think if you ask me, like, what was the main essence of this group chat, I think for me, it's always been about helping people, giving people a safe place and giving people a platform to express themselves and connect with everyone. And I called it Exhale Global because it was never my intention for it to become a global community. It was something that just happened naturally, and it goes to show that how your story can actually impact people around the world. It's not just about where you are at home. It's about you using your story to reach people all around the world. And I think that's the essence of the community. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And finally, Pastor David, how have you learned through the building of your community to maintain trust and leadership within the people that you're engaging on a weekly, day-to-day basis?
I think for me, I think that the trust will always be there, because I've always been someone that, how can I put it now? I've always been someone that's always kind of picked last, or people didn't believe in him. Obviously not here, but before being part of the family, people didn't believe in him. I was always the kind of person that no one used to really look at or be patient with, basically. And for me, I think I learned to kind of find ways to create things in my own way. And the people I connect with every day, I also now have learned how to have that same patience with them as well. Some people might not get it straight away. Some people might end up staying with you or decide to leave, and it happens. But then it doesn't mean that you change. You just have to keep giving the same sort of, don't want to use the word energy, but giving the same sort of like patience and guidance and conversation and love or whatever it is to people. And eventually your people that are meant to work with you will just naturally just be a part of it. Like now at the moment, I used to have to run the sessions myself, especially when it comes to basketball. But now I don't have to. I can get there, and I have a guy and his brother now that literally run the session. They're both 21 and 23.
I love that. I love that so much.
And then we have another 19-year-old guy that can literally run the session, but that's because we've given him the opportunity to do that. Yeah. So eventually now, let's say in the next few months, we can decide, we can have sessions in North London, West London, South London, all at the same time, because there's people that have actually been with me. They want to actually be a part of this and actually create the same thing I'm creating for their own community as well.
Yeah, I really love that. That's really amazing. And just on the topic of creating your own way within sports, can you tell us a bit about, I've seen you have a partnership with Red Bull, and your content, social media is very important in this age. Your social media is very engaging. So please tell us what it is that you've done differently to allow your social media to be this engaging as a sports, like Premier League, yeah, they're great. We see their highlights. But, you've kept it engaged. You've kept us engaged, even though it's not like that big of a name, such as a Premier League or NBA. So tell us what it is that you've done differently to keep your audience engaged.
To be honest with you, I'm always watching my sister here, goodness, and the stuff that she creates. So, and I kind of watch pretty much a lot of young people and kind of see how they create on their pages as well. And for me, I'm always willing to learn. I don't care if you're older than me, younger than me, I'm always going to learn from you. And a lot of people don't realize that I used to have maybe like 1 or 2 social media managers, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to learn how to do it myself. So I've been doing it myself for a while, creating a lot of the videos, doing all the editing and stuff like that. But then also to engage with the younger generation as well. I get a lot of them to actually do their own content and collaborate with us. So they have their own content on our page as well, which kind of generates more audience for them, and then we are able to get their audience as well. But it's really just constant learning and constant research.
Okay, amazing. And on that note, please tell us where we can connect with you online.
Instagram, at Nation Sports, Nation spelled with an X, Basketball Nation, Nation spelled with an X as well. And also on TikTok at Basketball Nation, Nation spelled with an X, and YouTube, because I actually do a podcast as well, which is quite interesting if you guys want to watch, and that's at Basketball Nation TV.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. Make sure you stick around if you're interested in sports to speak to Pastor David afterwards. And Pastor Goodness, we heard that you're the inspo for Basketball Nation / Nation Sports. So please tell us what it is you have been doing that makes your social media so engaging. And I have seen some things. You're really on the trends. I really love it, honestly. I go to your page so that I can, get some inspo also. So please tell us what it is that you have done differently to keep your audience engaged.
This is so interesting. I think Pastor David just being nice and lovely. Okay, in terms of social media, my background's in social media, so it comes quite natural to me to understand communities. I spent a lot of time, because running, by the way, all this is just a hobby. My my living and breathing right now is actually media, working very closely with Pastor Mariam, who's my mentor, and she's the one who introduced me to all the opportunities that I do have in terms of with media. So my background in social media, and what I have to do is understand communities and create cult communities. So when it comes to the So Run page, it's really understanding and getting into the mind of a runner, or getting into the mind of your audience, which for me is running, and understanding what they like. So it could be, for me, it's not a lot of creating content, but it's a lot of like reposting, finding funny run memes that they relate to and they understand. And it's just making sure that they can feel connected to my page and they can feel like, oh yeah, this is where I want to be, or this is where I belong. So that's really what it is with social media in general, if that's the question you're asking.
Amazing. Please tell us where we can connect with you online.
So in terms of So Run, it is at so.run_. And that is on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, that's where you can connect with us.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. And Pastor Precious, please tell us where we can connect with you for the Exhale community.
You can connect with me on Instagram at Exhale Global, on YouTube at Exhale Global, on LinkedIn at Precious Adeoye, and you can also click the link in my bio on my Instagram if you're interested in joining the WhatsApp community. Thank you.
Okay, please tell us how we can spell that as well, because I know it's not spelled the normal way.
Yeah. So Exhale, so Xhale, Exhale, Exhale over X. Thank you.
Amazing, thank you. And for my lovely audience that have enjoyed this amazing segment, please let us know, is there anyone in the audience that has a community that they are starting, or that they're part of, or a business that they're starting, or that they run? Please raise your hand. Oh, wow. Okay, amazing, very interesting. I did catch names at the beginning for the intro segment, so I can see Gabriel has one, and I can see Duchess Letitia has one also. So make sure that you connect with these 3 community leaders at the end, and we'd love to know what you have in store for your businesses, your communities, so that we can one day showcase you on one of our panels as well. So that's been it from all of us. I'm Pastor Jerusha, your host, and I hope you enjoyed the segment.
Harder than the blue is flying, harder than the blue is flying. Never give you up my mind, never give you up my brain. Wanna do it all again. Harder than the blue is flying, harder than the blue is flying. I just wanna go all night, I just wanna go insane. Touching the sun with rain, harder than the blue is flying, harder than the blue is flying. Never give you up my mind, never give you up my brain. Wanna do it all again. Harder than the blue is flying, harder than the blue is flying. Never give you up my mind, never give you up my brain. Wanna do it all again. Harder than the blue is flying.
Evening, lovers and inspirers. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, lovers and inspirers. Good evening to those that are watching online. My name is Pastor Christian, if you don't know. Good evening to those that are here as well. Obviously, we've literally had a segment just before this, and everyone was speaking about the communities and what's basically come out of them. My job is simple. My job is to give a word charge before Pastor James gives that word. My job is to give the word charge before Pastor James. It's literally just speaking about the communities and where we've come from. Today's title is our evolution and how we've come about. So this is the story of how we've come about. The scriptures that I'm going to be given are based on stories that they're based on stories of people that have come from a life and they've gone into an alternative life, a different life. So if I can get my first scripture, please.
Matthew 4 from verse 18 in the Message.
Yeah.
Walking along the beach of Lake Galilee,
Yeah.
Jesus saw two brothers, Simon, later called Peter, and Andrew. They were fishing, throwing their nets into the lake.
Yep.
It was their regular work.
Yep.
Jesus said to them, "Come with me. I'll make a new kind of fisherman out of you.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to catch men and women instead of perch and bass." They didn't ask questions, but they simply dropped their nets and followed.
So they were living a life. So these are two brothers that were living a life beforehand, living a regular life. Like myself years ago, I was living a regular life till I met Lovers and Inspirers, till I met leadership. I was living a regular life. I was selling drugs. I was getting in trouble with the police and everything, until I met a new life. Until I met leadership that changed my life. I thought that I could sell drugs affecting people's life and not help people. So the people that reached out to me, my brother that reached out to me, he spoke to me and actually changed my mind on the way that I was seeing things, because I just thought I could sell drugs and affect people's life and just make money, live life like that. But I found purpose in the words that my brother was speaking, the word that came out, and that changed my life. And it changed my life to the point where I'm able now to work in a company and employ different people. Like from being in a place where I was literally selling drugs, I've been to prison as well, been in trouble a lot, coming out and now being able to employ different people in businesses. So I think what we can say here is that we know the word works. We know the word works. From the last panel as well, we've seen the different leaders that were speaking as well. We've seen that what they've created came out of the word. What they created came out of the word, and now they're able to impact different people. They are now able to have communities, have businesses that help people's lives and change people's lives. So that's what I would say. I would say that the word comes to change your life. It actually comes to change your life. It actually comes to make you a new person. Because the person I was before to the person I am now are two different people. And you can see it in the scripture when it says, you will see it when it says, "I will make you a new person," and they followed, and their life changed. We can see that from the life of Apostle David Boyle, now leading NSA, a company, a basketball nation. But these weren't things that these things didn't happen before. These are things that happened once you've met the word, once you met what you're supposed to be living for. Because before, I didn't know what I was living for. Honestly, I would sell drugs, I'd get in trouble and stuff, but I didn't know what I was living for. I was living for something beyond me that impacts people's lives. So all the different communities that we have here already, they're to impact everyone's lives, to impact different people's lives. Because it goes back down to the point of, why are you living? Why do you just live for yourself? And I think when I was selling drugs, I came to the point where I was just living for myself. Until a point came and I met leadership and they took me by the hand and said, your life is more than about yourself. Like your life is about the different people you're going to impact. How you're going to leave, how you're going to be able to change young people's minds, and not to just live for yourself. So the communities that we have, our sole focus is to make sure that we impact people's life through the word. Because these companies, these businesses, they came out of the word. I want you to go to my next scripture, because it's going to touch on the communities. It touches on the reason why the word came to you.
Proverbs 24 from verse 3 in the TPT.
Yeah.
Wise people are builders.
Yeah.
They build families, businesses, communities.
Yeah.
And through intelligence and insight, their enterprises are established and endure.
So wise people build businesses. They build families. They build communities. So the word comes to us to give us an understanding that we are able to build. And we're not building for ourselves. We're building for a community. We're building for a greater people. We're building for a reason to touch different people, to be able to touch another generation, to reach out to another generation. So with saying that, I just wanted to make sure that everyone here gets their heart ready for the word that's about to come by Pastor James. My name is Pastor Christian. Thank you.
I take pride in the things that we've done.
Side by side in the revolution.
Won't stay silent for things that I love.
We know they don't care about us.
Side by side fighting for a nation.
Won't be shit just to put our hands up.
They can never see the kingdom coming.
Honestly, it's all about to nothing.
I can see your face, see the light in your eyes. I can see the change, feel the heat of the fire. If you can feel the pain, then you know you're alive. Both feet on the line, by any means I will fight. By any means I will fight. By any means I will fight. Fight. By any means I will fight. Oh. And what if we change the world? We rise from the flames. It's far from a perfect picture. We made mistakes, but we're only human. Have you ever counted all that lives we've changed for this nation? There is redemption in the. We're fighting for our lives. See, this is a choice. It's gonna take your all. Give it all that you got. Oh, we're fighting for our lives. See, this is my choice. It's gonna take your all. Oh, both feet on the line. By any means, we will fight. Oh, by any means. By any means. Oh, by any means. We'll fight by any means. By any means. Don't lose your passion, don't be afraid. Don't lose your focus, keep your head in the game. Put on your armor and lift up your voice. Lift up your voice. Don't lose your passion. Don't be afraid. Don't lose your focus. Stay in the game. Put on your armor and lift up your voice. Don't lose it. Don't lose your passion. Don't be afraid. Don't lose your focus. Stay in the game. Put on your armor. Put on your armor. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Don't lose your passion. Don't be afraid. Don't lose your focus. Stay in the game. Put on your armor. Put on your armor. Both feet on the line. By any means, we will fight. By any means, we'll keep fighting. We'll keep fighting. By any means. By any means, we will fight. We'll fight by any means. We won't stop. We won't be moved.
We'll fight. Enemies will fight.
And what if we change the world? We rise from the flames. It's far from a
perfect picture.
We made mistakes, but we're only human. Have you ever counted all that lives we changed for this nation? There is redemption in the steps we take.
Lovers and aspirers are in this room tonight. No lovers and aspirers, I can't hear you. Let's make some noise tonight. Let's make some noise. Can I get you up? Just go around, greet your neighbor once more. Actually find out, let's connect once more. I see some new faces, some fresh faces in here tonight. Let's connect. I know we've done this already, but I want every single person to actually go around, speak to somebody, speak to people. That's right. Okay. Let's start taking our seats. Have you enjoyed tonight's service? Let me hear you make some noise if you've enjoyed it. Every single person that has spoken tonight, from our Pastor David that has spoken about the nation, the NSA, and what he's doing in terms of the basketball nation, and also in terms of what he's doing with all the communities. From our Pastor Goodness that spoke about the Soul Run community and what she did a few weeks ago. Funny enough, she didn't actually mention a few weeks ago she had over 500 people that gathered in one place in the heart of in the heart of London, but just for an event to run. And things like that, events like that, we actually have to celebrate, because things like that were formed from the word. From just one day, a Pastor Goodness. I remember it was December 2024 when a Pastor Goodness came up with the idea and she mentioned it on the call. And then instantly what we did is that we all got behind her and we actually pushed it. So to see how the event came out a few weeks ago, it just actually brings a smile to my face. Why? Because that's what people can do when they receive a word. So tonight I want to give you a word. And this word that I want to give to you is what's going to make you become a better version of yourself. The current version of yourself right now, the current version of yourself that you're living, the current version of yourself that you're living, it's not actually the version that God has in mind for you. God has a better version of you that He wants you to be. But what do you need? You need leadership. Without leadership, without guidance, you cannot become that better version of yourself. So tonight, in this room, there are a bunch of leaders. There are hundreds of leaders sat in this room tonight. You're all unique in your own way. You all have your own stories, but God has a purpose for you. And for you to activate that purpose, your perception, your vision, your view has to be changed. So tonight, I'm introducing you to that better version. I'm giving you a different perspective. Give me the definition of perspective, please. If you don't have it, I'll send it to you.
Perspective definition.
Yeah.
A particular way of considering something.
Yeah.
A point of view.
Yeah.
A particular attitude towards or a way of regarding something.
Yeah. It says a particular. Go on. Do you have another one for me?
The way things are seen from a particular point, often used to describe a person's interpretation or understanding of a situation.
Yep. Read that last definition one more time.
The way things are seen from a particular point.
It says the way things are seen from a particular point. So currently, right now, the way you've been seeing life, is it the way that God has in mind for you to see life? There's a better version of yourself that's trapped within you, and what nights like this is meant to do is meant to bring it out. In environments like this, rooms like this, places like this, brings you to the better version of you, the called out version of you. So I'm speaking to leaders and I'm calling you out. I'm calling that leadership version of you that's trapped within you. But what do you need to do? You need the word. So that's why scriptures will begin to speak about how the entrance of the word brings light. In another translation, it says the entrance of your word brings revelation. What does it mean for it to bring revelation? Or what does it mean for it to bring light? What it means simply is so that you can come into a light version of you, meaning that you are called to be light. You are called to be a solution in your family. You are called to be the hope for your family. But what do you need to do? You need the word. And when you receive this word, what this word is meant to do is meant to push you back into that light version of you. But you cannot do this without the word. You cannot do this without leadership. You cannot do this without having somebody that can guide you. In life, ask yourself this. How many times have you tried to take life your own way? How many times have you tried to do things your own way, and has it worked out? You've been trying to pursue that music career for so long. You've been trying to pursue that career for so long. You've been trying to start this business. You've been trying to start this community for so long. But has it been the way that God wants it to be? Has it been that way? So then what would happen if you actually allow leadership or guidance or somebody to guide you, somebody to change your perspective? That's what happened to me. In 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I received this word. I received the word that changed my life. It changed my whole perspective. So what that did for me, it made me a better version of me. 8 years ago, I wasn't this guy. 8 years ago, I was broken. 8 years ago, I couldn't speak to you. 8 years ago, I couldn't translate my own story. But what happened when I came into this work? What happened when I came into this house? This family changed my whole life. It made me a leader. It removed my perspective. The perspective that I had when I grew up in South London, Brixton. I wasn't that same man when I encountered the word. So when the word finds you, it changes your whole perspective. It changes your whole vision. So what are people missing in this current time? Vision. People in this current time, in this current generation, don't have vision. They don't have a clear perspective. But when leadership finds you, when the word encounters you, it changes you. It gives you a bolder spirit. It makes you more into a person that people can look up to. It makes you more into a person that generations can look at. That is what the word does. That is what instructions does. So as every single day, every time you hear the word, every time you come here on a Monday and you're receiving the word and you're hearing leaders speak, what are you doing? You're receiving more knowledge. And that is what people in our current time, in our current generation, lack from. That is what people in our generation don't have, knowledge. The fastest way to gain knowledge is to actually find a leader, to find somebody that has a better perspective, to find somebody that has gone through life in a certain way and they can give you key attention, key skills that can change your whole perspective. When you find leadership, your whole standards change. Your whole perspective changes, your standards change. The person that you was when you came into this work, the person that you was when you came into this house, you're not that same person. Your whole standards change. You become a better version of you. So in this world, in this current time right now, what are people lacking? Standards. They don't know what it means to have standards. They don't know what it means to be a leader. They don't know what it means to be somebody that can change their whole community, that can have a word for the whole community. That's what leadership does. It gives you the word for your community. It gives you the word for this current time. When you find leadership, it changes your whole perspective. It changes your whole standards. It gives you the responsibility to change a whole generation. There are people in here right now that leadership, the word is searching for. The word is searching to give you a responsibility. The moment that you make this word personal, and you take it in for yourself, what happens is that the responsibility that God has always had in mind for you, it becomes real. It becomes real. Please give me Psalms 119.
From verse 130 in the NKJV.
Yep.
The entrance of your words gives light.
It says the entrance of your words gives life. Go on.
It gives understanding.
It gives understanding. This is a mentor speaking to a mentee, saying the entrance of your word gives light. So if you're looking for light, if you're looking for understanding, what do you need to find? You need to find the word. So every single Monday when you're sat in here, you're finding light. You're finding the word. In another translation, it begins to speak about how the teachings of your word gives light, so that even the simple can understand. Sometimes in life, we don't understand the simple things because we're missing the teachings. We've missed a class. What happens when you miss a class? You're not able to pass the exam at the end of the test, at the end of the year. You're not able to become that version of you. That version of you, what do you need to pass? What do you need to become that version of you? You need to be sat in a classroom. You need to be sat under leadership. You need to be sat under the teaching of a mentor. You need to be sat. So in being sat, what happens? You continuously develop. You're receiving the word. In receiving the word, you develop understanding. So the community that you want to do, the business that you want to do, the endeavors that you have in mind, what are you missing right now? You're missing understanding. Why are you missing understanding? Because you don't have you currently right now, you don't have the recipe that is going to make you become that version of you, that better version of you, that enlightened version of you. So in this world that we live in this current generation, people are looking for ways to continuously evolve. People are continuously looking for ways to go through evolution. People are continuously looking for ways to change their character. But what's the first way for you to change your character? Find leadership. What's the first way to change your current person right now? Is to find somebody that has gone through life, that has fought the battles of life, and they're able to give you teaching, they're able to give you sound doctrine, they're able to give you a sound teaching, so that way you can become a better version of you. Not everyone's willing to develop. Not everyone's willing to go through the stages of life. Everybody wants to go through the shortcut. I remember before coming into this family, I wanted to go through the shortcut in life. That's why I started doing what I was doing back then, which was fraud. I wanted to make money. I wanted to become a better version. I wanted to become that money-making guy. But what was I missing? I was missing leadership. When I found leadership, my whole perspective changed. My whole life changed. My whole vision changed. Leadership made me the person that I am. It developed my character. It gave me a better standard. It made me a world-class person that can speak to you so boldly. I couldn't speak like this. I wasn't this person. But continuously, what are people searching for? Evolution. That's why tonight's title is Our Evolution. Because yesterday we started going through the doctrines. We started going through the teachings. Our leader, Pastor Toby, our father, he started showing us our history. And then we started recollecting our own history. And then in doing so, what does that show us? It showed us our evolution over years. How us as a family, us as a community, us as a house, we've transitioned over years. I remember when I came into this work. In fact, I was speaking to Muhammad yesterday, and I was telling him, Muhammad, when I came into this work, the houses that you see today weren't here. The cars that you see today weren't here. But as time went on, as we remained consistent to one thing, things started developing. So in this world right now that we live in, people are not willing to remain consistent to something. But if you are willing to remain consistent to one thing, you're going to see how your whole life will change. If you're able to remain consistent to leadership, what's going to happen is that you're going to evolve. You're going to become a better version of you. Your narrative is going to change. The person that receives leadership is somebody that has an open heart. Somebody that can the person that is able to change their standard is somebody that has an open heart. Somebody that's always consistently willing to receive wisdom. Somebody that's always consistently willing to receive sound doctrine, sound understanding. That's the person that continuously goes through evolution. Because what you realize is that the version of you, it's not this version that God needs. This current version of you that you're operating right now is not this version that the word needs. It's not this version that your community needs. It's not this version that your family needs. There's a greater version of you. The problems that you're going through, the problems that you've gone through in life have all led up to one moment so that you can encounter a word that can change your whole life, so that you can encounter the wisdom that can change your whole life. The person that you need, your current person right now, what you're missing is leadership. What you're missing is leadership. Ask yourself this. How many times has evolution presented itself to you? And evolution could present itself to you in a form of a person. How many new people has come in your life? How many new people have come in your life and you've rejected a person? How many new people have come in your life to give you help and you've rejected it? How many people have come in your life to give you to give you advice and you've rejected it? How many people? How many? But what happens when you start receiving? What happens when you have an open heart? When you have an open heart, your whole vision, your whole perspective change. You're able to receive the wisdom that you need. That person that comes into your life to give you sound doctrine, you're able to receive it. But you can only receive it if you have an open heart. Currently, right now, the world that we live in, people are hungry to build nothing. People are hungry to build nothing. People are running a race. And the race that they're running is to build nothing. They're not willing to remain consistent to one thing. But you that sat in here right now, every single Monday that you're sat in here, every single time that you receive a word, what you're doing is that you're receiving the doctrine, you're receiving the instructions, you're receiving the manual that you need to change your whole family, that you need to change a whole generation, that you need to change. In this world that we live in, people are hungry to build nothing. They're hungry. But every Monday we're hungry to receive word. And this word gives us the understanding to build. This word is what's allowed the communities that you've seen speak today. This is from this word that we saw Excel Community. It's from this word that we saw a Basketball Nation. It's from this word that we saw a Soul Run. It's from this same word. It's from this same house. From the word. It's the word that's changed everything. When I encountered this word, I wasn't this person. My character was broken. I wasn't this person at all. But when I encountered leadership, the day that I encountered leadership, everything changed for me. Everything changed for me. So what's the one thing that I can say I've remained consistent to over the last 8 years is by sticking to the word. And what is simply the word? Leadership. That is what people are struggling with in our generation. They're not willing to receive understanding. They're not willing to receive guidance. They're not willing to receive, they're not willing to change their perspective. They're not willing to look through the lens of somebody else. They're not willing to look through the lens of somebody else. But what happens when you receive that? Your whole life change. Your whole perspective change. You become consistent to one thing. You become consistent in building. That is what I've become consistent in. Receiving doctrine, receiving a sound word from leadership has made me consistent in building. Has made me consistent. So without leadership, my focus won't be here. My focus wouldn't have been here. My focus won't be here at all. In fact, there's a saying that says how time is the biggest snitch. And what that says is that, you're laughing, Muhammad, but that saying, time is the biggest snitch, because time reveals what you've been doing time reveals what you've been doing after a while. So if currently right now, if you're building, if you're sat in the same place, if you're consistent to something, if you're building, you're focused on something, what's going to show in years to come is what you've been consistent to. It's going to show what your focus has always been on. If your focus has been on building, you heard from the community leaders earlier, their focus has been on building. That's why they're speaking about what they're doing now. If their focus wasn't on building, they won't be able to speak. They won't be speaking about what they're doing now. They won't be speaking about their exploits. The only reason why they speak about their exploits is because their focus has been on building. Their focus has been fixated on something, which is building. Every single person in here, sat in here, you are builders. You are called to be a builder. You are called to be somebody great. You're called to be somebody that can change your whole family, your whole generation. But what do you need? You need sound doctrine. You need sound words. In receiving sound words, what happens is that your whole perspective changes. The fights, your problems that you're facing today, those problems will become small. Those problems that you're facing today will become small the moment that you change your perspective. The moment that you change the lens that you begin to look from. I just wanted to speak to you because every single that you've heard from the leaders today, and I don't want to speak for too long. But I just wanted to leave those words with you. And those words that I wanted to leave with you is so that you can actually go back and you can hear what's been said today. And then from there on, you can look at your own life and ask yourself, is this the right choice that you've been making? Is this the right doctrine? Have you gone down the right path? So every single person that's here today, if you want to connect with us, if you want to become a member of us, this is Lovers and Inspirers, and we've been running for about 10 months. And in this 10 months, you can see, you've heard about the exploits that we've done. From the Soul Run that we did a few weeks ago, we had over 500 people that was there. To the Entrepreneur Fest that we had over another 500 people that was there again. And week in, week out, we're gathering over in our hundreds, gathering strong, we're building. But what are we doing? As we are building, you're finding that people are becoming consistent to something, and this is building. The moment that you can become consistent to something, that is when your whole life changes. The moment. So I just want to leave you with that tonight. I don't want to speak for too long. I just wanted to leave you with that for tonight. And then from there on, if you want to be part of this community, if you want to be part of this house, if you've heard from the leaders today and you're saying, you know what, I want to be part of this. I want to get to know what this community is about. I want to get to know what this family is about. I want to get to know what we do here. Simply all you have to do is raise your hand, and then from there on, a leader's going to come and speak to you. If you want to join this community, if you want to be part of us, just simply raise your hand from where you're sat, and then from there, somebody's going to come to you and actually connect with you. That's simply. Thank you, my sister. If you want to just, and if you want to connect, simply, thank you, please, leaders. That's actually. If you want to be part of this community, just simply raise your hand. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, lovers and inspirers. My name has been Pastor James. And thank you for joining today's service. Thank you for attending today's service. Thank you. And this is Lovers and Inspirers. We meet here every Monday. If you want to be part of this community, just simply all you have to do is connect with the leaders after, and then from there, somebody else is going to come and close the service. A Pastor Goodness is going to come and close the service today. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Can we have another round of applause for that word, please? Amazing, amazing. As Pastor James has rightly said, we'll be closing service now. I'm just going to go to two people quickly, and just from this entire day, just a few things that maybe you've gained, or you've heard. So let me just pick a few people. Pastor Zainab.
I think one of my favorite parts of today, of course, the word, but also the community panel, hearing Pastor David and even down to Pastor Precious talking about her international poetry community. I think it's so inspiring to see that she's able to connect people from different areas, and just shows how social media is such an easy tool now. You can connect to many people, and it's just seeing the fact that she's been able to create that platform to give people the chance to speak and express themselves. So I really did like that.
Thank you so much. And then I'll go over to Tamara.
What about today that I enjoyed what I enjoyed about today is obviously like what Pastor Zainab said, the panel with all the different type of communities. It was really nice hearing about Soran, about Pastor Precious obviously doing poetry, and then obviously sports with Pastor David, and it was very inspiring to hear what other people do in their day-to-day life.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so a few things before I go. Of course, you guys already know the social media handles, which is Lovers and Inspirers. And which is Lovers and Inspirers. And then if I just bring up the QR code again, when they're ready, you can just scan the QR code and it'll take you exactly to the page. But I also wanted to mention a few things coming up. One thing is Miss Zoe, which is not here right now, but she's into floristry, and she's actually hosting an event on the 3rd of June. So you'll hear more information regarding that on the page, so that will keep you updated with what's going on. If anyone's into interior design, floristry, or art, it's all in one, and they're doing an entire exhibition at the Royal University of Arts. Okay, amazing. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for coming. Now, as we mentioned throughout, if you can just register for the next service, please, as well. Scan that QR code, and we will see you next week for an amazing service. Amazing. So Perfect. I'll just let all of you scan that. Amazing. And then, as I mentioned throughout the week, throughout the service, that you guys can now get connected to the people here. There's a lot of great people to connect with. So get connected, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you so much. Amazing.